So in this course, I will be going through Git and give some updates and more information on how we can utilize Git for our projects and how we can master the Git version control system. So this will be like a cache course. So you will have some information on how you can set up Git, and I will be going through the different commands of Git and how you can use them. So first, I'm in the Git website and we see what is Git. So Git is a free and open source distribution version control system, and it's designed to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. So when you're working with a team in a project, uh, you have to face the difficulty of how we can manage a project from different users perspective, let's say different developers. Because sometimes a developer could work in different sections of the project, or sometimes they might have to uh, work in the same part of the project, and they have to manage that without like having any conflict with the part of the projects that they work. And then they have to combine the different sections that they have done separately, and you know combine them into a full project so that we can have that output. So this is where a version control system comes to the help. So with the version control system, we can manage the project or certain project through the different developers, and we can have that ability to where each person that works in some section of the work, they can do the certain development part separately, and then they can edit that part to your system. So I have prepared some slides on what I'm going to discuss, so I'll be going through them as well. So the first thing first, so what is Git? So Git is a decentralized or distributed version control system, and I have added some there regarding what is this distributed means. So in a distributed system or distributed workflow, every developer is potentially both a node and a hub. Say every developer can be both contributing to the code to other repositories and maintain a public repositories on which others can base their work and which they can contribute. So this means a developer can be the person who gives the project and as well as the person who updates certain sections. So they can act as the both, and then they can contribute it from both perspectives. And again, Git is a decentralized version, but Git can also be centralized. So here in a centralized workflow, in a centralized system, there is generally a single collaborating model. So a single hub that gives the information. This centralized workflow. One central hub can accept code and everyone synchronizes their work with it. So mainly the hub is the main project part, and each developer can synchronize their code with it. And these developers and let's say nodes consumes of that hub and synchronizes with that centralized location. So what they can do here is when the central hub, they can synchronize data with it, but each each node, let's say each developer can't like interactively synchronize with them, but they can synchronize with the main hub. But with the distributed workflow, we can synchronize with the hub as well as the different nodes on the system. And mainly first the Git was created as where we can manage the Linux kernel project. And one of the main beneficial things about Git is it's open source. So you don't have to like pay for that, and it's really open source. And mainly most of its operations are local. So there are many version control system available as of now, and some of them requires you to have an active connection through the cloud, through the internet. But With Git, we can have we can do all of it's like operations on local, and then we can, if the projects sections of the part are completed, we can push or we can like update the certain sections onto the cloud. We will cover those things in the later part of the work. So when it comes to Git and its operation, let's first see how we can install Git and how we can set up Git on a new system. So in the official website, they provide the different sections for downloading, and based on your operating system, it will like gives you the relevant option to download here. And after you click on it, it will goes to the download page, and you can click here to download the relevant version. And based on your operating system bit type, let's say 32-bit or 64-bit, it will choose the relevant option, or you can manually select the uh, relevant one for your operating system. And let's click here to download this, and it will download the relevant setup for Git. And I'm gonna pause this for now because I have already installed Git, and let me goes to the setup to like explain how this works. So after downloading the setup, you can click on the installer. Then you have we will prompt with the license agreements. What you can do is just go through next and install the relevant sections. And I will not go through how the installation process works because it's kind of same for most of the things. So please go through the relevant informations that are available on the screens on the installation, and you can install the Git on your operating system. And then after installing Git, you have to initialize Git on your system. So this I found this interactive article that was provided by the Odin project, so that you can have the information on setting up Git, and I will go through that as well. So after installing Git, you will get the Git command prompt like this. So you can mainly by default it will come in a smaller size. You can select, right click on this and go through options, and change this section regarding font size or screen size as you fit, and you have to click apply and save to have the one size that you can work with. And then the main information here is configuring and setting up Git here. So after installing the Git, you have to set up Git. So this section covers you how you can set up Git, because for Git to work properly, you need to have a certain user and email set up on your Git terminal. So here with this command git config uh, hyphen dash dash global user dot name, when you have to insert your name here. So if you are after installing, you have to follow this command, and here I can like copy it here, and you just have to change based on your information here. So let's say your name is something, and you have to write it your name here regarding your name. Let's say my name is Sachin, and I have to write Sachin and click OK button, or say click enter here. And after you click enter, if if it doesn't give any response to in the console, that means there is no error. And as they say, if there is no error, that means it's good news. So if there is no error, then you are good to go there. So you have to initialize a global user and his username and a user email. and then after that you have to update what is called the default branch that is provided by Git. So this was actually done as a recent update because GitHub changed their default branch to the from master to main in like 2020, and from now when you install Windows you have to like update that. But it's like it's not like mandatory, but it's what the main the naming of the branch main is now mostly preferred. So, and here we have the option to change global color, and we changing this as auto. And then for now we will rebase or turn off this rebase option with who.rebase as false. We will cover rebase in a later section of the course, and for now let's just close it. And after you have updated those parts, you can check whether the relevant details are already added by following this command git config / get and user.name command. Here if you type it in, it need to give us the output that you entered. So for this computer that I am using, I have already configured a user name and an email. And here they gives you information on how you can set up for Mac users here, and you have to follow this for the Mac users. And then they will give you an option to create an SSH key. So for now I will not go through the SSH key section, and I will go through this SSH key section once you have followed the GitHub sections of the course. And then you have to link that generated key with GitHub. So this section will be covered in a later part of the work. So let's just first go through here. So first thing first, we will be having when it comes to version control system, we will get mainly two types of things. So one is a repository and other thing is commits. So repository, with comes with a repository, it's within Git, this the collection of version control file is managed and the history is considered as a repository. So when it comes to this version control system, these the relevant history of these managed files are considered repository, and a workspace contains both files managed by Git and others that are not managed by Git. So mainly we call Git what are called version control files, and a workspace, when it comes to workspace, it contains both file types that are managed by Git and that are not managed by Git. So here if you we can like first go through this by following creating a new project. So I'm going to come to this I'm going to create a new folder in my on my system. So and here I created this folder demo, and then I'm going to open my code editor here, and I open up my code editor and I'm going to enable my terminal here. So this is actually an empty file right now. So in this folder, in the demo folder, I will be creating my projects. So here after like initializing a repository, it will give us this .git folder, and this .git folder will contains the actual Git repository, and it contains its own collection of files and folders. So after like initializing this what is called a repository, it will have this files and folders that are related to Git, and we mainly not going to like mainly update that through files. We will use our command prompt, and through there we have relevant commands and we will update it through here. And then we have these commits. So Git mainly works by saving its current states of all its files it manages into snapshots called commits. So I'm going to open up another instance of here. Okay, so here I enable up something. So as this section say, Git works by saving its current state of all its files it manages into snapshots called commits. So a commit can contain one or more file changes, and commits are saved on a timeline, and this is known as a branch. And as the name, as we followed the configuration earlier, this default branch that is created for a certain project is called the main branch. And these actually commits are like snapshots of time because of our file changes. So let's say I have this project. So this is actually my initial project, and I will have like things called it's on like commits based on the different changes that I do to this initial project. So let's say after some time I updated some section on the project, and then this will be added as a certain commit in in our project. So initially when the after doing some changes, it still comes to this state, and this state will be like an more an updated state of our project. So to demonstrate this, I will first create a file here. So in my code editor, I'm going to install this, create this demo file, demo.txt. So here just a text file, and here let's say I'm going to write something. Hello world. So nothing fancy, just a text file with just a hello world string. So first thing first, we have to first initialize a new Git repository. So when working, first thing is we have to do in the project is to initialize Git. So we can do this with the git init command. And here I'm going to type git init, and with that it will initialize an empty Git repository in this folder. So here we can see the relevant path, and as I mentioned in my last section, so the .git command, the .git folder is the one that was created by Git, and as you can see from the GitHub terminal, we will get this main branch as the default branch. So now the Git main file is created, and this initialize git project is actually now working, but all the files in there are still not tracked by the version control system. Let's say you have this initial project here, but uh, we have created the file, but it's not actually tracking the relevant files on time, because mainly the even though they're initialized, but nothing is tracked there. So for that reason, we can follow this git status command to check the relevant states of our git command git. And with the git status command, it's giving us information on what are the things that are available. So it say these files are actually untracked by the version control system, and we can add them through the command git add and the relevant file that we need to add. So we can add the relevant newly added untracked file to the version control system so that it will be tracked there, and we can use this command to edit that file there. So we can use git add and the relevant file name is demo.txt. So after writing that, we have to click on enter, and as I mentioned earlier, there's a no error message just pops up in our terminal, so that's a good news. So now added the relevant file to the version control system. Mainly it was first an untracked file, but now I have added it to the version control system, and now it's being tracked. So we can again go to git status command, and we can see that some information on what are the status of the file. So it say the file is added to the uh, what's called the controlled version, good controlled state, but it's there isn't any commits available there. So as I mentioned earlier, so this file is in a state where it's added to the version control system, but it doesn't have any like a snapshot where it knows that this section is the updated one, and we have this file changed on this like in time this time stamp. So to that to happen, we have to commit the relevant changes that we did here. And here, since I'm initially adding something, I'm going to use this git commit command to commit my changes here. So um, we follow this git added command, and then we have to write this commit one. So git commit, and we have the dash n for message, and we have to write the relevant message here. So here I'm going to go into my code editor, and then I'm gonna write this git commit, and dash m. I'm going to like initial project. So we have to write a meaningful message here under the commit messages, because uh, it will help us in understanding. So we can like go again on git status, and we can see there's nothing changes here. So when explaining what has happened, so what we did was we first had an working directory uh, which is like untracked. So here I'm explaining how git status work, and we have this like three stages when it comes to this different status. So the first one is the modified one. In the modified one, we have changed the file, but we haven't like committed it to the database yet. So let's say when in our initial state, of course we had that, because we have changed something, and we didn't like commit that in our initial after the initial phase of the application. We see that the file is tracked, but we know that there's something, but it's not like committed. And here we have this staged one area. So stage area is we have marked the modified file as its current version to go into your next commit snapshot. So, and we have the committed stage, and uh, those areas is working on this floor. And we have the first the working directory, then we will come to this staging area, and in the staging area is the section where we have relevant changes that we have modified, and we need to commit on those changes. So let's see those sections is action. So for now, I have this initial commit, and I have in our main branch. And this was the initial phase of our project. So here I have this text, what is called hello world. So initial level, we have this text in hello world, and this is our text that are available. Uh, and this after some time, I'm going to like change this relevant data available here to like let's say hello Mike. So now there's a file in our project, there's some changes that are happened to our file. And since this initial project now is in version control system, we can detect there's some changes after some time. Then we have to uh, we have to use version control system to get that relevant change. Let's say I'm going to change here as hello Mike. So now I have done some changes to our application, and it will display that I have done some changes if I go to git status command. So in the git status, we can see I am on the branch main, and uh, I have modified a certain document, and I need to commit them so that it will go to the staging area, because mainly now I'm in the modified state as I mentioned in our graph here, because this is in the modified stage and I have to commit those changes um, here and here this staged one. So after seeing that, you have to first in that modified stage, you have to first add the relevant file so that it will be added to the section. Then you have to then commit what is added there. So as the instruction, first you have to add the file. So when we like adding here, we are not actually adding the all the file here. What we add is just the updated states of the application, because mainly uh, we are getting a certain snapshot, and we are only adding that tracking that changes that we done through through the file. So here I'm going to add the relevant name of the file, which is demo.txt, and when you click on it, no error means good news, and we can check for the things. And now we can see that we have added that changes through the modified field, and now it's tracked under our staging area, and we have to commit the relevant changes so that we will have that updated snapshot. So let's say git commit -m. We have to write the relevant message, let's say change name, and I'm going to commit those changes. And if you go to git status again, we can see that nothing to commit here, and that means it has already been committed. So again, here I'm first, when I do some changes in our repository, it will be on the modified state. So then after adding that sections to the relevant modified section to the staging area, we have to commit, and after committing we will go to the committed stage. And again, a commit contains detailed message about the relevant stage and the hash commit id. So we can see this information through the git log command. So this git commit message consists of an commit ID and also a commit relevant message regarding what are the changes that is happening on the file. So we can see this clearly through the git log command. So when you type git log, it will give information on regarding the hashed commit ID, the author of the relevant commit user, and a timestamp with the relevant commit message. So this is really important. So if you are a person and you want to see the what ifs happened in recent commits that you have done, you can get that information through git log. And here another command you can use is the git show command. So git show command is also a good uh, and it will show information regarding the last commit message, and it gives more information on what you have done in our last commit message and what are the changes that is happened on the last commit. So this git show message is also useful uh, when it comes to getting the information on the commit messages. And yeah, I'll be moving to this file. So now if I move back to my file and the diagram here, I am actually on this stage, and this is the commit, let's say the commit snapshot. So this is the commit snapshot that is relevant to this timestamp. And initially we had this commit message, and now we are with this commit snapshot. And this relevant timeline of commits. So this timeline is of commits. This is uh, what we call the main branch of our application. So this will be named as the branch, and this branch is consist of like a timeline of commit messages that we have done, like different changes in our files. So now we are here in this snapshot. Again, if I move into terminal, we as we like develop, we will have scenarios where we have to check our files that it's available on our project. So let's say here I have this demo.txt file which is tracked by the version control system. And let's let me edit some new file. Let's say uh, I like hello from a stranger dot text file. So now I have added something new here. So main in our project now, our project is controlled by the version control system, and we are listening to the changes here on that demo, and we can see that it's available on the version control system. But this new file that we added, it's something new and it's not available in our version control system. And we can see the relevant files that are available on the version control system and files that are untracked, let's say, by the version control system through here with this command git ls files. So with this command, we can see the relevant files that are tracked by the version control system, and all the files that are not tracked by the version control system will not be shown here. Actually, it's not available on the staging area, so we have to first add that. So git add and the relevant name of the file, which is hello from stranger.txt, and we can then use that command, and it's committing that relevant changes. And you can use the git log command to see the relevant updates, and you can see that each section, each commit that we have added is also available here. So the if I update my drawing here, so we have the initial commit snapshot. Now we also inserted a new file, and if I illustrate this, it's on a new state, and we have also saved that commit snapshot as well. Say this is the commit 2, let's say. Now we have two files, which is hello Mike and this hello.stranger file. So now we have two commits and like two files here. And if you see the commit log, we can see that what is called, and here we have this kind of what is called head, and it's pointing to the name of the branch. So head is like this head is like the name suggests a pointer that's point to the main branch that we are on. So we can see that here our branch, this is the our branch, and this is our main branch. So there is a pointer that is pointing to this branch, so that we know what is the working branch that we are on right now. And this is done through this pointer, the head pointer. And always this head pointer will be point to the branch that we are working. So I'm going to adjust the section here. So here the head is pointing to the relevant main branch that we are working, and it will like point to this final commit as well. So in our log, and we can see that it is uh, available here on the most recent commit message. So now we have this head pointer. So we have this option to staging a git stage. So here the head is pointing to the relevant commit message, and we can reset that using this command git reset head and the relevant file. So and then we can follow this git checkout file so that uh, it will though this is should be unstage. Yes, so this is regarding unstaging a git stage. So what it does is, so now you are in a, now I am in uh, the committed stage, and if I was in a like in a state where that I have added the relevant file onto the staging area, let's say here I'm going to add this demo3.txt file. So demo3 is now uh, is actually untracked, and at first I'm going to edit that and the relevant file name. Now I have added that, and now I can see that it's need to be committed, and I need to unstage that. So what I'm going to do is and the file name. So file name is so, and again we don't see anything, so that means that's a good news. So we check the status again, and we can see that it was actually on the staging area, and now it's under the modified area, so that it is not added there. And we can, so then we have this option called git alias. So git alias is, sometimes git commands can be lengthy based on the output that you desire. So if you don't want to type the full command for it, you can set up an alias for each command. So I have given an example here. So mainly we, with the git log command, we can see some information regarding our log. So we can edit this these helper commands so that we will get much more clear logging of files, let's say. So and again in my commit files I have this untracked demo.3.txt file. So I'm going to remove it for now. I will teach another way we can remove it through our project later. So now we can see that. So with the git log, let's add some decorators to our git command for logging. So we get this git log dash dash one line dash dash graph and dash dash decorate. So these are actually helper commands that we are doing dash dash off. So here we can see the relevant staging of our files. So we are on this commit, and we can see the relevant information regarding our commit ID and the commit message in a more decorated way. But when you get this kind of output, uh, the command that we have to type will become more lengthier in this process. So we can use this git alias so that we can create a shorthand command to generate this lengthy process. So we will use this command here, this git config slash slash global, so that we will have this global access, and we will call this the relevant option as hist alias dot hist, and we will insert the relevant section that we need to update. So here git config uh, dash global alias dot hist. So this hist is the name that we will be using after, and we have to add the command that we need to be added there. So we will be using log dash dash one line dash dash graph, just decorate, and dash dash. So this is the command, and no error means good news. And let's try this out. So git, and we can try this out with git hist because it's a shorthand one. And you click on it and we get the same output with a small number of types. So this is Git Alias, and it's always good to use it when you type some kind of a long and lengthy command and you want to have a shorthand version of the relevant command. So moving on, so I have created how the snapshot works. So for now, if you look into it, we have first the initial project, and then first we change name and then we add a new file on the system. So, and here we have a certain representation of how this is. So this was actually the initial project, and this is the timeline of different snapshots, and it's the branch, and we call the default branch as main. And after certain time we did some changes, and this is the commit snapshot for that relevant change, and the head is pointing to the relevant branch that we are working. And here we have this ignore one. So what this does is we can ignore certain things that we don't want to be available here. So let's say I'm going to edit something called don't allow me txt. So now this don't allow me the text file is untracked. So if you go to this git status command, we can see that it's untracked, and we we there are certain scenarios where we want to have a certain file, but we don't want to have it when we don't want that file in our version control system because it's unnecessary to have that. Let's say more example would be like relevant dependencies in a project. Let's say you are working on a node.js project, and when you install different libraries, we will have that dependencies available in our projects as like a uh, node library files that don't need to be added on the version control system. So uh, we can remove that from our version control system through the gitignore file. So we can create a gitignore file, and in the .ignore file we will have to add the relevant name of the file which we don't want to be added to the version control system, that need to be untracked. So let's add the name. So it's don't allow me text, don't allow me txt. So now I've added that and I've saved that. Let's try with git status again. So see that I don't get the name right. Yes, so I think it's something name related. So now it's available there, don't allow me txt. So let's try this. And yes, so my bad from there. So that's the system has added two dot files there in the name. So sorry for that from my end. So if you check on git status, we can see that the relevant file has been discarded from the modified state, let's say, because we didn't add the file. It wanted to be added, but we ignore it through our git ignore file, and it has been removed from the system. So we don't. It's not going to be tracked by our version control system. So that's there. So now we have that part figured out. So that's on the that section. When let's move to the other one. So this section comes with first this branches and merging. So as of now, when we work, this was our main branch that we worked in, and the head was pointing to that relevant commit so that we know which branch we work. So there comes certain scenarios where we need to have different branches when working. Let's say I'm working on a big project, and the main branch is the one that I'm working on. But when I modify the main branch, I should have knowledge that I should familiarize with that, because main branch is the one that we working. So something went wrong in the main branch, it will affect the project. So what we can do here is, based on the initial snapshot that have been added, we can create a certain different timeline based on the snapshot that have been added. So what he does is, we will create a uh, new s- new timeline of steps, new timeline of branches based on a different snapshot. So that's how a branch is made. And as I mentioned, branch will be like a timeline of different commit messages, and this name, such as the branch name main here, and something like that. These are actually labels that describe what is the relevant timeline of changes that we are on. And I'm going to create a new timeline here, because I'm going to create a new branch from that uh, from this initial commit here. So I'm going to name this as div. Going to name this branch that is we getting from this initial time snapshot as development, or let's say dev in shorthand command. So this dev branch is the one that we are going to get. So here we have these files, and one file is untracked. Let's create a new branch. So again, I'm going to check git status, and here, yeah. So when you edit a file, the gitignore file store the names of the file that we do not need to be tracked on the version control system, but the file itself need to be added to the version control system. So let's quickly edit that file. So git add the relevant name of the file and commit it, and dash m command, and let's say gitignore add. Yes. So I'm going to commit it, and I'm going to check the relevant status of the branch, and nothing there, it's clean. And let's create a new branch. So we can use this git branch command. So this git branch command is the one that we are using, and we can use this git branch command to show different branches. But since I only have one right now, which is the main branch, it will show the main branch, and I can add a new branch through here with the git branch and the relevant branch name, let's say dev. And then no error means good news, right? So new branch has been created, but we can still see this main command here through our console. This is happening because even though a new branch is created here in our diagram, let's say we are from this relevant commit message, we are creating a new branch here. Even though we created a new timeline of here, but our head is still pointing at this relevant commit, so it is still available, pointing to this relevant branch, this timeline of changes. It's still seeing this as the main branch that we own. So if we need to come to this development branch, we have to point this head toward the relevant branch that we are on. So to switch between these branches, we will use this command, this git checkout command. So we can use this git checkout and the branch name that we have created. So git this checkout dev. So with this command, I will be switched to the dev branch, and I can check the git status of our branch. So this is there's nothing need to be added. So moving back to the diagram now. So now from this commit hash, I created uh, a separate set of timelines here. So now uh, I have switched the branch. So first it was pointing to this relevant set of timelines here, but now it's pointing to this updated. So actually this is the one that is now it's pointing. I can like adjust it here. For like clarity, I'm going to edit this from here, and I'm going to name the branch name through here. Say here. So yeah. So here I'm going to do some coloring so that we can have this good understanding. So and now I'm in this div branch, and here from the div branch, I can do some changes, and the head pointer is pointing to this one, and let's do some changes here. So let's just quickly check the tracked file from our system. So git ls. Oh, sorry about that. I typed the wrong name. So we have this demo and hello from Java. And here I'm going to go to the hello from Java, and I'm going to do some changes here. So I'm going to say, hello, how are you? So I made some changes on this new file, and from there, now I have modified some file in this new branch. So let me like check git status, and we can see that uh, the relevant file have been modified, and we need to edit them so that it will go to this staging area. So we have this hello from stranger.txt text file, and we need to have them. So we first add them, the changed file. So and then we again check the status. Then we need to commit those changes. So let's say dash m up, let's say update on stranger. So I'm going to commit some changes. Now it will commit that changes, and we can use the git log command to see. And now we can see that so all the previous updates have been done on the main one, and now the head is pointing to the development one, and we have this new update on stranger commit message that we have done. So as you can see, first we had this, now we created separate set of timelines, and this is the new commit. Let's say commit 3, and this commit contains this updated one. So we have this hello from stranger text has been updated. Let's say this and we this hello mic is there, but this file is updated. So here we go to their branch and we did some changes. Again let's So from that change, let's do something to yes. So we did some changes, and then we have this process called merging. So merging does is we are came to a different branch and we did some changes here. And after doing those changes, um, we need to have we need to give those update to our main default branch so that all the files are need to be updated are available on the default branch. So what we can do is what is called creating a pull request and then merging the relevant changes that we have done with the with our main branch, let's say. So we will get this updated state, and from our timeline, yeah. So updated my diagram here so that it will match here. So what we have is a merge, let's say merge state. So what we does here is first the head was pointing here on the development branch, and then we had some changes done. So our development branch was actually created, and we are we are merging those changes onto our main branch. So we can do this with this command. So here uh, git merge, so merge from branch 1 to branch 2. This is done to the git merge from branch 1 to branch 2. Let's say from dev, from our development branch, let's say uh, to our main branch. So there's not, I'm on the branch dev and it's clean. Let's try this command. So git merge from development branch to main branch. So let's see. So no, uh, I need to first go to the branch that need to be merged. So I can use this git checkout command. So git checkout main is the branch that I need. So now I've gone to the main branch. So I can use the git log command here. So now my head pointer is pointing to the main branch, and I'm on the main branch. And previously, since I was in the development branch, my head pointer was actually pointing to this div one, and now I would check out in my check out from that branch, and now actually again it's pointing to this one, so it will know that I'm in this main branch. Now I need to merge the changes in the development branch to with the main branch. So what I can do here is uh, and again, if you use git log and you can't quit from the relevant log command, you can use the q key in the keyboard to quit from that logging. And let's try this out. Git merge from the development branch to the main branch. So you have to be on the branch that you need to be merged, and then try this. Yes, so that we can see that updating the relevant changes, and we are using what is called the fast forward method. So I will be explaining what is fast forward and in a little bit. So we can see that the relevant things has been updated, so this was actually not allowed, and we can see that the text here has been updated as hello, how are you. So let's see this status command pretty quickly, and I'm on the branch view and it's clean. So what happened here is what's called a fast forward merge, and here in this diagram I will explain the different types of merge that is happening. So what is happened here was the fast forward merge. So fast forward merge is where we first do some updates and comes to a certain commit, and then from there we will initiate a new branch, and from the newly initiated branch, let's say the development branch, we do certain changes, and we commit those changes on that new feature branch, what's called this feature branch. So they, but while we do this changes on the feature branch, we don't do any relevant changes here on our main branch. And then after doing some changes and we know that the sections that we need to be done was completed, we can merge the relevant changes that we have done through this feature branch with the main branch with the fast forward merge. So that way, uh, all the changes that have been done will be also available on the main branch as well. And then we will come to this automatic merge section. So in the automatic merge, what we have is we will have this the initial one that we initial commit, this relevant commit message that we make the relevant new branch, so that in this new branch we also do some changes. But uh, again, we also do changes in the main branch as well. So let's try this scenario. So like now let me quickly move on to a new branch from here. So let git checkout dash b dev2. So now I am creating a new branch called dev2 and I'm switching it. I'm also creating the branch and also switching my head pointer to the newly created branch. And now let's check, let's just check the status and nothing to be added. So now from the dev2 branch, let's say I'm changing something here on the hello from stranger one. So let's say hello from stranger, how are you? I am adding something. So section in the hello from stranger 6 has been updated. So let's see git status command and we can see that things have been modified and we need to stage them. So let's first add the relevant changes to our version control system. Then let's commit them based on here. Okay, so I committed those changes and I'm actually on the this new branch. So I'm also on dev2 branch and there's nothing need to be added. So let me also update this on our system as well. So here I had the dev branch and then I merged it with the main branch. So what we had was a merge state. So from here, from this merge state, it's not like a commit here. Please don't get me wrong. This is not actually a commit. So this need to be like this place need to be added from here because now we don't have we have this what is called a merge state. So let's keep it there for simplicity. And from the merge state, I'm going to create a sub branch. Here I have named that as the dev2. So I created a new branch called dev2 from there. And this dev2 branch, I did some changes on the dev2 branch. As you can see from the stranger one, I did some changes there. And let's say this is the new stranger commit, right? So this is actually a new commit and my head was actually now pointing to this new dev2 branch so that it knows that I'm in here. Then I'm also going to make some changes through this merged main branch. So this from my default main branch. And then I'm going to do some other changes from here as well. So let's say here I'm going to add a different color here. So do some change. So I'm going to do some change here as well. So let's do this. So I have nothing to commit. So I'm going to switch my branch now. So I'm going to switch back to my main branch, and actually I'm on the main branch. As you can see, the head pointer has been updated and the text has been changed there. So first I have updated this hello from stranger one, and now I'm going to go to this demo.txt file. I'm going to update from here. Let's say hello update from demo. So now this text part has been updated, and I'm going to use git status to see that I have done some changes, and let's edit them and commit them. Yes, so the changes has been done, and it has been committed as well. So I'm actually on the main branch now, and if I move on to my diagram again here, so now my head is pointing here for this section. Yes, so now the head is pointing here now, and I'm going to merge the changes that I have done through this dev2 branch with the main branch, and please know that I have done these changes on separate files. So the relevant changes that I have done will not affect each other. So after merging these changes, it will also, the relevant changes that I have done to the dev2 branch is also available under the main branch as well. So let's do this. So I'm going to use git merge, and first again let's try the git status again for clarity. Yes, nothing like that. So git merge from dev2 to main branch. So I'm going to merge the changes that I have done in dev2 with the main branch, and then here the merge has been added, and now I'm not using the fast forward main, but I'm going to use what is called this automatic merging. So with the automatic merging, and here I explain it, with the automatic merges, we are doing changes on separate, certain changes on separate things, so it will not affect each other. And in here these merges are non-conflicting, and it preserves both timelines, so these timelines will not conflict with each other, and merge commit on like a destination. And as you can see, I have now updated my main branch in our application. So here these changes has been merged again, and here, so here has these sections has been merged here. Now we have what is called a new merge, let's say merge state here with the updated changes, right? So now we have this updated states, and let's see the git log command. And with the log command we can see that it's pointing to the main branch, and it said merge branch dev2. So while merging here, it will create this merge state commit, and our head pointer will be pointing to that section as of now. So now it's pointing with the merge state, and also following the timeline of this main branch. And that's on the automatic merge one. And there's also another one called what is called the manual merge. So what happens in manual merge is uh, we are doing changes on a different batch, but we are changing states on the same file, let's say. So here I am on a new branch, and I am updating this text here, and I'm also on the main branch updating some changes regarding this file as well. So when something like that occurs, there will be a conflict of like changes that we need to prioritize when merging the relevant branches, because merges when merging branches from one branch to another, they don't know which to give priority on which condition. So users have to manually select the relevant changes and choose the options that are relevant to them to manage the relevant updated state of the merge. So what we happen here is it will create what is called a merge conflicts, and we have to resolve them manually. So this is used where the automatic merges are not possible, and it will give what is called a merge conflicts, and have to manually use them, uh, update them. And we have what is called in the next slide we have what is called git stashing. And git stash is a command. So let's say I am working on my project and I'm doing some changes, but I don't want to commit them, let's say. So let's do something here. So let's do two things actually. I'm going to create something called no don't, let's say, don't need this. So this is actually just a file. So, and this new file is not tracked by the version control system, and I'm going to update here. Let's say I'm updating strange. So I have added some details on. I have added a new file called this don't need this, and did some updates on this version controlled file. So now I can do this git stash command so that I can like temporarily save those states, this both the untracked files and the tracked, the modified changes, where we can use them in a future manner. So we can use it in the when we have a more updated one and we can use it. So let's try this out. Git stash, and let's try this. So yes, so we need to first add them, I think. um, yes, so then uh, we can see that the changes available on the stash. So with the stash command, the certain sections that have been added, let's say here from hello from stage, save that as well. Yes, now we can see that the git stash command has been added, and it says saved working directory and index state, something like displayed a message on the developer true. So I've used the git stash command, and I've opened up the documentation here. So this quickly need to clarify something. So in my slides, I mentioned that it will track both. It will take both the tracked and untracked files. So, but by default, Git only will Git stash will stash only the modified and staged text file tracked files. So if you want to include the untracked one, you have to use this dash u to include the untracked files as well. So in our stashing one, so here the staged changes has been the tracked one actually has been stashed. So if you want to include the untracked one, you have to add it, the dash u one. Let's see the updated command. So sorry, so the git is stash and the dash u command. So it will stash that the untracked file as well. And remember, when using is stashed, so it will save this staged, so this both stage and unstaged one. And so it will not like store this updated section like a single thing, so like a single file. It will save this as like a list, so it will create uh, both state in a kind of a list manner. So we have those list of stash things that we can have, and we can use this git stash pop method, so that when you are ready to edit those changes, this command will add them to the staging area, so that you can modify them to commit. So now I can like go with the git status one. So in the git status one, we can see that it's clean, and we can use this git stash pop command. So with that, so we can have this unstaged one uh, files also available there. And as you can see, the first pop will give the last one that I have stashed. Let's try again. So it also then gives this the other stashed one as well. So remember, uh, we can stash more things, and like is like maybe let's say like is list of stashes, and we will get the with the pop command, like in a stack manner, we will get the last stashed one we did. So uh, we can then add them to our system, or we can just discard them. So for now, I'm going to like discard these changes. So and again, if I wanted to remove this one in our my staging one, so I can use this unstaging one there. Let's use it. So git un say git reset. So no, let's just add that staging file here, so that we can unstage that, and we can just remove here, so we don't have to go through that part. So here we added that, and I removed the updated text from there because it's only modified and not staged. So nothing found. Yes. So uh, so modify. So yes. So here regarding this untracked file, so we can remove this. Let's try to remove it first. Yes. So because we can just discard them here with the delete, because it's not added onto our version control system. And if you see the status, we can see that hello from stranger has uh, been like need to be updated. So let's actually we can discard like these changes. So we can use this command git uh, restore the relevant file name. Let's say hello from text. Yeah. So I just restored that file. So let's try the git status again. So it's on the branch main, and it's there's nothing to be committed. So I also want to share a special command in git. So let's try the git log first. So sorry, git log. As you can see, I'm on the main branch, and you can see the relevant actually relevant commit IDs and commit hash IDs. So we can compare like differences between these relevant commit IDs, so relevant commits actually, with the git diff command. So it gives differences on two commits, and let's try this out. So with git diff, and let's say this is the commit ID. So this is the commit ID that I want to check. So let's try this commit ID, and we have to add the relevant commit that we need to check it with. Let's try the head first. So let's see if this works. Yes, so it will give information regarding the differences between the relevant commit and the other one. So I checked it with the head, the relevant head pointer, that is the relevant head pointing out commit. So with that, we can see the changes that has been and they have been happening, and the relevant differences between them. So that's on that, and we can also uh, delete branches as well. Let's say here in our relevant merging process here, we have created different branches such as dev branch and the dev2 branch. After merging them, this branches is no longer required, because we have get the changes from this branch, and it doesn't need to be on the version control system. So we can first check the git branch command. Sorry, I'm using capitals here. So git branch command, and we can see the relevant branches that are available in our local repository, which is main branch and the dev and dev2 branch. Let's try to remove this dev2 branch with this command git branch and the dash d helper here for deleting, and we have to give the branch name, which is dev2. Let's see how this works. And yes, it say delete branch dev2, and we can again see the git status to see uh, how it is done. And again, this will delete the relevant branch. So, and git branch command, and we can only see the dev branch and the main branch. And again, this will not like affect, because uh, the dev2 branch was actually comes as like a separate branch, and all the changes that have been done on the branch has already been merged with the merge state. So there's no point having that branch anymore, because the the reason that that branch has been created has been completed and no longer need to be tracked by the version control system. So we have to merge those changes with the in that branch. And then let's move on to the slides quickly. So we have this time traveling in Git. So this is like a special thing when it comes to version control. So let's say you have you here I'm actually on this commit commit snapshot right now as a the pointing out. So if I wanted to come to a previous state of our application, let's say here for the commit to section, here the first initial commit, we can time travel to those certain previous stages of our project through the git command, the git reset command. So what we do is git reset, and we provide the commit id, and then we have to pass this parameter dash dash soft or dash dash hard. And uh, the soft hard, these are like helper commands, so that it knows what kind of time traveling or resetting that we require. So this will reset the head pointer to the relevant commit id, and by default it will use this mix when resetting. So we can have this dash dash soft one, so that it will not give like certain conflicts in when time traveling in the branch. And this dash dash hard command, it will be the more destructive reset method, and it will like clear the pending changes that you have, or let's say staging changes that you have in the repository. So that's on this part. So now we have and repository project that we have separate different branches, and all these like changes, all these stages have been done through the local git repository that we have on our machine. We didn't have any support with the cloud or anything. So now what we can do here is we can push these certain changes that we have done locally through our certain cloud repository, or say remote repository that is available under cloud, and that's where GitHub comes in. So let me move onto my diagram. So here, so I'm going to go to this page, and here all these git status, modifying, staging, committing, these all these sections has been done on a user level repository where all the things have been done through locally. And now what we can do here is we will be giving them through a repository on the cloud. So that we have to come to GitHub, and on GitHub is what's called where we can manage different repositories on the cloud, and where we can have a repository on the cloud. So as the name suggests, I'm actually on this repository now, and if we wanted to have uh, the local repository available on the cloud, as say we have to first create a repository on the cloud first. Here we have this plus option, and then we can have the option to create a new repository. And on the cloud we have to first give a repository name. Let's say demo testing one. Let's say I'm going to add something here, demo test. So make sure that this name is available there. It will use that. If the name is available, it's available. And then we can add some description. So these are optional things, but you can edit that. Let's say uh, demo project. And then we have to choose the repository visibility type to public or private. With the public repository, as the name suggests, everyone can see the repository on public, and with the private one, only the people who have access can see the details on that. And we can initialize a readme file and edit some details as well regarding the gitignore file and some license. I'm not gonna edit them right now, so let's create the empty repository first. Yes, so now we have created an empty git repository, and now there are two types of ways I can uh, access this repository. So here we can see that the https command and the ssh command, this is the link to the remote repository that is available on the cloud. I can access through this https command and the ssh. So ssh is like a more secure command where we give more authentication when it comes to hand accessing. So this SSH handling part is done through the relevant section before that I mentioned. This creating the SSH key command. So now we are moving to this section. Let's create an SSH key. So as the guide suggests, first we need to see if we have uh, an algorithm for SSH key is already installed. We have to use this ls, this command, and then we have to type it on our terminal in the Git terminal. So if you paste it here, so since I already have this, it shows me this message. But if a message appears in the console containing that here no such file or directory to this key available, you have to create one. So to create one, you have to follow this command, this ssh and /clegend /t and this algorithm name /c and the email. So here you have to follow, you have to add your email here. So regarding you email, try to add the one with the GitHub where you created the GitHub account. So I added my one. So then you have to link that key that you added with the GitHub. So to link it, you first logged in to your GitHub account here and go to the settings, and under there you have this shin and gpg key section. So from there you have to manual like added the relevant key after clicking it and then adding it there. So for security reasons I'm not going to show the key that is related to this device. So you can edit it through here there. So what you can do here is you can pass this command in the terminal and it will give us the relevant key that is available for your device, and you can copy and paste that through that section available on the GitHub. And you have to follow this testing your key to make like to test that key is available, but it's not mandatory enough. So after adding the relevant key, um, let's come to the our GitHub one and the relevant repository that we created. So this is the demo one. You have to get the relevant SSH command after you have initialized that, and I'm going to copy it. So now I am on the main branch and I am on the relevant section. So and let's add a git status as well to check. So I'm on the main branch. So now I want to added the relevant remote repositories to be connected with our branch. So to this I'm going to add a remote git remote add origin and the name of the remote repository. Here I'm going to add the SSH one. So this origin is the name provided for the server that is the remote repository is available. So let's try this, and no error means good news as well. So let's check the remote one, which is remote dash v. So with this we can see the relevant uh, fetch and push origin like the remote repository that is available. So it gives that it's so available now. And now let's try the git status command. So git status command will share that with the information regarding the local one. So let's push these changes onto our remote branch. So with the push, what we do is we are uploading our local Git repository onto the cloud. So here git uh, git push dash u origin main. So this command will push our uh, main branch to the relevant server. And remember, the dash u naming here we added here so that it will also push the untracked files if available on our repository. Since our this repository one in our working one doesn't have any untracked files, uh, and also the added ones are also gitignore. The untracked one here also gitignore. It will actually not be added there automatically. So it will push the untracked one if there was available, and the origin is the server kind of name that we provide. So let's try this out. Yes, so we can see that something happened and a new branch main has been created. Branch main is set up on origin main. So in our remote repository, like in the origin, we have initialized what is called a main branch. As you can see, our main branch has been pushed to the remote server and it's also available there as well. We can also push other branches as well. Let's say I want to push the development branch that was available there. Let's try this out, and it will push the relevant updates on the development branch as well. And you can see the changes if you refresh it. Uh, you can see the all the branches is, yes, the development branch is also available as well. And again, development branch is actually not needed right now because the main branch is also been updated. But for demonstration purposes, let's just have it there. And here the Readme file. So this Readme file is like a markdown file that's available on the remote repository and the local. We can create it also on the local repository to like give the information regarding the project and etc. So that's on there. So now let's see how Git cloning works. So with Git clone, what we can do is create an clone of another, let's say a remote repository. So here I have opened up some random project here on in my web browser. So we can clone this repository. So what we can do here with, we have this code option and we can get the relevant URL, let's say remote repository link. And what we can use is the clone command. So I've created a new folder for cloning here, and let's open the terminal and get our code editor running. So I open up my Git terminal here. Let's try this Git clone and the remote repository name. So I have added the SSH command, so that's why I'm using the SSH link here. And once you've done that, it will be cloning that project to your local file system. And let's go to this project, and I'm using this code dot command to open the Visual Studio code editor. And if you don't have Visual Studio Code editor, it might not work. So if you have Visual Studio Code editor, it will work. So now what I have done is I have cloned his repository and mainly the main branch. And as you can see, the branch is named as master from there, and we can see the relevant information on this cloned one. So we can see the status. You can try the status and it says on master branch, and we can see the information regarding git. Let's try git log, and we can see the relevant information regarding the logs available in that repository. And we can see the head is pointing to the master branch, and regarding the remote repository and how the remote repository's head is pointing, and information regarding the commit messages as well. So we can actually see the relevant those changes as well. So, but here uh, this how the cloning works, because we get the clone of that remote repository and we can work it here. We can create a new branch and update here, but we can't like push it because GitHub remote repository have certain rules that it comes to that repository. Of course, uh, let's say this repository is the repository that was given by your organization. Let's say you want to work, so in that way, or maybe some kind of open source project that you like to contribute. So what you can do is you can create what's called a fork of that repository. So what a fork is, it's like a copy of the project but available to you. So what with the git clone, what we can do here is we are getting the clone of this certain repository, but not like a copy of ours, but just a clone from that repository. But with the fork command, what we can do is it create an copy of that repository under our list, and from that copy it will create a copy of the relevant main branch that is available there. And from this forked one we can clone this forked one. Here with this sh command we can get the forked command, which is the fork clone. And now you are pushing changes onto this relevant copy of that certain project, let's say. So we are pushing our code updates through this copy of that code and we are updating. So let's try this out. So here I have this ssh command key available there, and let's get that. So I already added the file through here. So let's go to my code editor in that file. So now I'm actually going to be go to this folder clone project, and I'm not going to go to the tic tac one, and let's create something new. uh, let's say clone, let's say forked one. So we will have the forked one in here. So let's get our terminal running. Git bash here and try the same procedure. Get the ssh one, and through our terminal let's try git clone and clone it. Now we have uh, the clone of our one it's creating, and let's open up that, go to the folder and enable code dot. Now you are accessing the relevant let's say the copy of that code. And let's say if you wanted to contribute to that project, let's say you have seen some changes, so you are working in your company's project and you want to update that. So what you can do is, let's say you have certain issue uh, in our, for now I'm going to let's say I'm going to change this Readme, or update some section, or I'm going to this app.js file, which this is just a React project. So to make things simple, I'm just going to change the Readme here. So let's say a tic tac go. So this gonna be, this is my change. I'm not going to do something fancy, I'm just going to change the text here. And make sure you are creating a separate branch for these changes. So I'm going to do that. Git checkout dash b, and let's say the problem of dev. I'm going to create a new branch called dev, and I am going to be adding the changes through this newly developed branch. So remember, if you are merging these changes, you have to understand the relevant merge strategy you are going. And what I'm doing is I see the things that I needed to change, or a feature that I need to add. I'm going to create a new branch there and added the relevant changes via this updated or this new branch. So I did that, and let's see our git status command, and I can see that there are some untracked changes, and let's edit that. You can see the git add this side dot command and git commit gem, and let's say update readme updated, or let's say fetch, or let's try this. Yes, so um, yes, I'm going to say I'm going to get add a commit message, and then all the local files are okay. Then push these changes onto our remote branch. Git push dash u origin, and I'm on the branch dev. I added dash u just to make sure I have also untracked file also added there. So a dev branch has been created. Let's see in our so in our here. So I'm in the cloned one. I can see that there are two branches, and yes, the dev branch is created. So dev branch is one commit ahead. So that's because of the changes that I have here. This is my change. So let's say you have done the feature that you require, and you want to like merge these changes with the main branch. So but since this is a like a local copy that you created based on the original repository, we have to merge the changes there with the relevant let's say the parent branch. So for this you have to first create what is called a pull request. So for that, let's try to create a pull request. So we can see that uh, through the GitHub, let's say the windows, we can see that we can edit the changes on my local branch. Let's say the tic-tac-toe development branch can be added to the master branch of this the relevant updated one. So from here, we can create what is called a pull request. So when you're creating a pull request, you need to edit a title. For by default, it will take the relevant updated commit message of your last commit, and you have to give some descriptive information regarding what you have done, regarding the changes that you have done and the features that you have implemented in this new pull request. Let's say for now, I just added here the changes on Readme. And make sure you are writing markdown test here, so you can use the relevant features on markdown test and see those relevant previews there. And after you have written down the changes that you have done, or say the feature that you have implemented here, you can create what called a pull request. And then you will be prompted to this screen where you have, let's say, the information that you have done there. And from here, what you can here do is you can merge this pull request. So for now, I can't merge this pull request because the branch owner doesn't have give access other people to merge it. So I can if the person is giving access, we can have this option to merge. So let me share how that could work, because let's create this yeah. So now I am pushing my changes from my cloud development branch to the master. Therefore, let's create a pull request from there. So what we doing here is we are creating a pull request on our remote copy of the branch. Let's try this out. And now I can see that we can see the relevant message, and if there are let's say conflicts available based on the relevant uh, branches that we are going to merge. It will share that with a red message that there are conflicts available. You have to like resolve them first before merging them together. But since there's like no changes available here, we can uh, merge these changes to our main branch, and we when you click on it, we can confirm this merge. Okay, so this merge is available on our local copy of the branch. So the changes have been merged, and if you go to this branch under the relevant master branch, and we can see the changes has been added. And again, this change is happening on the remote branch. So local branch doesn't have any idea on what's happened to the remote. So in this scenario, we have to update our local branch with the updated changes that is also happening on the remote branch. This is really important because all the all the changes that we do, and we push them with our into the relevant parent branches and relevant remote branches, and we have to get that updated branch. We have to know that the relevant parent branch and the remote branches get updated, and we have to get those updates to our local copy as well. So that's what we are going to do. So for that to happen, all the changes has been done and updated on the main branch. Let's check out to the let's switch back to the main branch first. So when checking out the okay, so the master is the name. So switching out to the master, uh, we have to first run the git fetch command. So with the git fetch command, what it does is it will check with the remote branch and fetch the relevant updates that are have been done uh, in the remote state as well as the local state, and it will compare them, not going to merge them, what's just going to compare them. And we can use the git status command now, and we can see the from our master branch to the local master branch on the remote and the local, we can see there are changes happen. So the branch is behind by certain commits, and we can use this certain fast forwarding method to get the relevant part. So we can use this git pull command. So what git pull does is it will pull the relevant updates from the remote server to the local repository. So with the git pull, as you can see, uh, it's running, and it update the relevant changes on the remote one in and to the local one. And we can try the git status command to see, and the branches now has been synchronized, and now this also updated. So uh, that's how, mainly how you like contribute to a remote project that you see on the cloud. So mainly that's that section on there. And mainly those are the things that like you mainly require when working with git. So most of the command have been talked in here in our demonstration. And I'll create like another video section where I go through git rebasing command, because I mainly didn't follow it here, and share some knowledge on git rebase. And also we can edit what is called tags in git. So tags are like a special kind of a commit way we can edit, like let's say there are certain special like a special stage or a special kind of stage in your project that you can mark there, so we can edit them as like tags. So those are things that are also related to like git, but I haven't added them here on this course. But mainly with this knowledge that you gain through these commands that I have shared here, and also from the knowledge that you have gained through this course, I believe uh, you can have a clear understanding on how to work with git, and working on the local as well as through the remote such as GitHub, and follow these guidelines, and you can become a better developer with how to handle your projects and using version control in a good manner. So this is like the end of the video, and